Currently, there are 10 misunderstood conflicts between the Israel and Palestinian conflict. In 1947, the UN voted to give land to both the Jews and the Palestinians. The Jews accepted their partition and legally formed Israel. The Palestinians rejected their partition. Misconception number 2. The surrounding Arab nations actually wanted to create a Palestinian state. After the war, the West Bank and Gaza were controlled by Jordan and Egypt for 19 years. During those times, they never created or established a Palestinian state. Instead, they kept the land for the misconception number 3. The Arab nations wanted to solve the refugee crisis. The Palestinians have settled Arab nations throughout the Middle East. These nations could solve the problems instantly because they would offer refugee, but they refused to let them vote or study. Ironically, the only country to let them have rights was Israel. Misconception number 4. The UN efforts are trying to help the refugee crisis. The UN actually stepped into the Palestinians and offered assistance for the refugees, but instead of using their own agency, the UN created UNRWA, which helped them to create more and more and more refugees. It got to a point where there were over 5 million refugees, and that led to the international crisis of AIDS, which is misconception number 5. Misconception number 5. The solution is more money. Western nations have given a ton of money to the Palestinians. Even taking inflation to account, they gave them 25 more times to the Palestinians than to Europe after World War II. The question is, where is all that money? Misconception number 6. Forming a state is the primary goal of top Palestinian leaders. All this international aid did go to help one man's suffering, Yasser Arafat. After his death, accountants hired by Arafat discovered secret investments worth over $100 billion. There is the answer. He used that money for his investments. Misconception number 7. Israel has a true peace partner. In the year 2000, desperate for a resolution, the Israelis elected Prime Minister Ehud Barak, the man to deal for peace with the Palestinians. Barak offered Yasser Arafat 94% of the land he demanded, except for Jerusalem. Arafat flatly refused and no peace came out of it. Misconception number 8. Israel just needs to give up land for peace. The last time Israel tried this was in 2005. They forced thousands of Jews out of Gaza, and in exchange the Palestinian leaders promised peace. But when they moved out, the Palestinians voted Hamas in. Yes, they formed a terrorist group, which has fired over 10,000 rockets at Israel. If you're surprised, listen to misconception number 9. Most Palestinians want a lasting peace with Israel. Some Palestinians do, but they're a minority. For 60 years, Palestinian leaders have given their children a strict diet of hate, utilizing bombers and cheering out for death. Misconception number 10. Giving the Palestinians a state now is the only solution for their suffering. Currently, Israel is the only nation providing full rights to the Palestinians, but with giving them rights in Egypt, Jordan, Lisboa, and all the rest, That will be a solution for peace. My name is Dr. Daniel Vega, and these were 10 misconceptions between Israel and the Palestinian conflict. Thank you for your attention.
Iraq's invasion of Kuwait brought Baghdad several rewards, production and revenue, the cancellation of war debts, and the satisfaction of an ancient territorial. Though clearly threatened, the takeover still caught civilians by surprise, and they fled inland to the invasion